Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Polywine, where we'd like to take a deep dive into stories pulled from the media and have a fun time while breaking it down. I'm Jillian, and let's get into it. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to a very special friend of mine. Today is a big and special birthday of hers, so I wanted to say happy birthday, and I can't wait to see it because I am coming with the fun. So enjoy your day. I am sending much love and happy birthday cheers to you. So moving on over to the West Coast, this past Monday, about an hour outside of San Diego, was the epicenter of a 5.2 earthquake, magnitude earthquake. And it was felt far and wide. I had friends out there. They were telling me that they could feel it, and it was definitely startling. But I don't know if you saw the footage from the San Diego Zoo Safari. It's really just remarkable footage coming out. There is footage of these elephants during the earthquake. These elephants come to the middle of, I don't know, the yard. For lack of better words, they come to the middle of the yard from where their facility is at the San Diego Zoo, and they start forming this protective circle around the small young elephants. And it was just so fascinating to watch because it's just so instinctual. It is just absolutely remarkable. I find elephants just to be just amazing creatures. And I found this video footage just absolutely profound, amazing. I loved it. I love elephants. I love watching this video footage and just the instinct they have just for protectors and nurturers, just amazing. So, there's been so much seismic activity going on lately. California has had recent earthquakes, so we're just kind of keeping an eye out there in the West Coast, California. We are thinking of you, and we're also kind of bracing ourselves for any aftershocks that might follow. Now, moving over into the world of sports, if you are a golf fan, a moment in history, only a few has come before him, and that is Rory McIlroy won the Masters. But not only did he win the Masters, he sealed the deal in history. He won the Grand Slam. That means he has won all the major tournaments. He's got that under his belt. And congratulations to you, Rory McIlroy. You are just a superstar in your sport. But I have to tell you, somebody was a show stealer. Okay, they took your moment of glory, and I hope you don't mind taking a sidestep to this little cutie, and that was your daughter, Poppy. Oh my God, who may have been the cutest little girl ever, and that straight putt into a hole-in-one shot seen around the world, and that had just to be such an awesome moment for Dad. So special. But Roy McIlroy, congratulations to you too, Poppy, and the whole entire family. Now, in the world of politics, and we are up, we are down. We have, I mean, the news is just, it is ever changing. We have the tariffs, we have the deportations. I mean, we have planes. It is chaos. Bill Maher is getting a lot of flack because he actually went to the White House. He had dinner with Trump. I think Kid Rock was a mediator. Was Kid Rock the peacemaker? Was he the olive branch in this scenario? It sounds like he was. Kid Rock. Who knew? But here we go. So I guess he was the olive branch that made this meeting happen, and it was him. There was Dana White. There are a few other people in the meeting, right? But he sat down with Trump, and and he's got a lot of flack for it. And he's even come out, after he went to the White House, the next show he had, he kind of gave his take, and his take was, although we may disagree on many things, the person I sat down and had dinner with was not the individual you see on television. He's not this bombastic, hyperbolic individual that you see on TV. That seems to me character-like, because the man that I had dinner with at the White House was not that individual we see flying off the handle, at like CPAC. So this was Bill Maher's take. He's like, I was able to question him. I was able to, answer Trump honestly, and he received my opinion. Trump even went out and asked my thoughts, asked me questions. He said that he respected my opinion. This was Bill Maher, and I'm paraphrasing here, in certain things because he knows that I'm very involved and I'm in touch with a lot of these issues. And I think that there's something to be said in this, right? If you have a stance and you want to get through to the other side, you're going to have to meet them in the middle or meet them in their home, right? That's what Bill Maher said. And that's what Bill Maher was trying to do. He's like, look, we may not agree. We pretty much disagree at most of the time. But if I want to be heard, I have to go to where you are so you hear me. And it sounds like they were both received. Trump heard him. He heard Trump. And at the end of the day, he had a somewhat decent report card of the whole experience. So win-win for both, right? Trump looks good. Bill Maher looks good. Well, guess not. Well, then after Bill Maher gets back, is his take on the whole scenario. He got a lot of flack because he actually went. And however you feel, I think in such divisive times in politics where there's so much yelling and screaming and conflict, you cannot hear the other side. It gets muted out by the loudness and sometimes just the insanity of what's being said. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to meet each other in the middle. I think that is what you do for conflict resolution, for politics. This is how adults act. And you can say what you want. You may disagree. I don't disagree with him. He's been saying it for years. If you want the other side to hear you, go to the other side. That's why he says, I have no problem going on, like, for example, Fox. I know that I'm not going to be well received on Fox. This is Bill Maher. I know that they're probably not going to like what I have to say, and they're probably going to dispute everything I say. However, I feel that it's my job to go so their listeners hear the other side, because if you're just always caught in that bubble or in that loop of the same information, the same feed, you're never going to hear the other side. So it takes somebody willing to go into the lion's den, if you will, to face the hardship, to be heard. And you never know what might come out of it. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. This case in Bill Maher's fan base, a little bad. If someone is going to invite me to the White House, where I can sit directly across from the President of the United States, like him or not, disagree with him, whatever. And if they want to say, I want to have dinner with you because I want to hear what you have to say, how do you say no? That is an opportunity of a lifetime, and that is a moment in history. Look, you have John Fetterman said, I'm willing to cross the aisle and go meet with Trump to be heard. And he did. He got a lot of flack for it too. Morning Joe Scarborough, he went and had a meeting at Trump. He went to Mar-a-Lago, and they got flack for it as well. But I mean, isn't there a part of you that just kind of wants to know? Well, I do. So I don't understand. You might not like it. You may make your skin crawl. But there's sometimes in life we have to do things that make us uncomfortable to move forward or to get a greater depth of understanding. And they actually did. And they got flack for it, but they actually did it. And for journalists, I want to know, as somebody in politics like Fetterman, I want to know what's in their head, what they're thinking. Trump's pretty forthcoming what he says. If he says it, you better believe it. He's probably going to follow through. But I applaud them for having to swallow their ego, maybe a little bit of pride, for a moment to go sit in front of somebody they really don't like to make change. There you go. That's all I'm going to say. But also, if we're going to say one other thing, let's bring a little bit of light to stuff happening in the White House. And that is the skit on Saturday Night Live this past week. Did anyone see the White Lotus parody called White POTUS? Oh my God. It was It was fantastic. It was fantastic. The writing for this skit, it was right there in front of us the whole time. It was there the whole time. How the Ratcliffe family was the Trump family in the skit. How the girl group were excluding Marco Rubio. So funny. Oh my God, I can't. The whole RFK Jr. with removing the fluoride and Amy Lou Wood with the teeth. I know there was a lot of heat that SNL got from that Amy Lou Wood skit about her teeth. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I don't care what anyone said. I was dying watching that skit. It was fantastic. The opening skit with Easter Sunday in politics was pretty good too, but nothing can top the White POTUS skit. It was magnificent. To the writers of Saturday Night Live, you nailed it. What an excellent skit. I mean, everything. It was so there. First of all, where did you film that? And I love the cameo of Scarlett Johansson. Like, where is Ivanka? And you just see Ivanka. And she just runs away. So funny. What an excellent skit. Saturday Night Live, you did it again. Really, really good. And if we keep on politics, go over to HBO Max. There is a new series, and it's called The Dark Money Game. And it's all about the dark money in politics. And it's really good. Each episode is a different story. First episode is about it's called Ohio Confidential. And it's about just the scandal of a former congressman in Ohio. So good, which there are a lot in Ohio. Very, very good. It kind of popped on when I was watching something else, and that went off and that came on, and I was like, oh, excellent. Very much enjoyed it. So if you have an opportunity, watch The Dark Money Game. It talks about the underbelly of the beast in politics, but it's the super PAC money and all these and please, I might get it wrong. Was it kind of like a 501c or something like that, where you don't have to disclose the names of the donors into these large accounts? Fascinating. So The Dark Money Game, HBO Max, only have had a few episodes to come out, but man, it was good. And if you want to talk about some other really good shows on HBO Max, I said it last week. They gave us 2 episodes, boom, out of the gates. Hacks. Hacks is back. Gene Smart, great show, and just as good as last season. Season 4 is already to a great start. Like I said, they gave us 2 episodes, first drop, awesome. Thank you for keeping me on the hook. I love it. The storyline's just as good. They pick up right where they left off and right off fighting out of the gate. You got me. You got me. Also, there is a really good other docuseries on HBO Max, and it is called Hollywood Demons. Each episode is a different story coming out of Hollywood, and it's like speaking of dark, it's got a dark side. You have Dr. Drew Pinsky as somebody who's as contributor and somebody who helps analyze some of the stories. You have a couple other like journalists, podcasters, and like I said, every episode's a different story. Like one episode was on like the Power Rangers. The Power Rangers is on like 20 some longer years. So there were hundreds of actors that were in these Power Rangers, like shows, movies, spin-offs, you name it. And there were, just the tragedy that hit this series over. There were suicides, there were murders, there were just a whole bunch of different crimes. And like I said, there were so many people that played different roles in the Power Rangers. I had no idea this dark side of that series. And there was one about this guy who played a father on the show. I think it's Seventh Heaven in his story. But this past week was a little bit in our wheelhouse. And yes, They were talking about the Housewives and they went through all the seasons. This was a very good one. If you haven't seen it, go to the Housewives episode on Hollywood Demons, HBO Max. Really, really good. They go into all of them. And I got to tell you, the interviews, really good. They talk about the crime spree. So, of course, they get into Teresa and her money scandals. And, that's we haven't even got into her new money scandals, but her previous money scandals with Juicy Joe. And I gotta tell you, it's been several years. It's been a minute. And I forgot some of the details of it, but they go right into all the details. And I really forgot all the stuff that Teresa said that she knew nothing about and she signed off. Well, guess that's why it didn't hold up in court too well. I mean, it was a lot. And I forgot a lot of that. So they break that down. And then they get into this scandal with, remember Taylor Armstrong and her former husband, Russell, who committed suicide and the money and all that stuff? Well, they get into that. And like Dr. Drew had interviewed Taylor Armstrong years ago, shortly following his suicide. And he was saying how different she is now, but she was interviewed and she talked about the domestic violence, their relationship. Of course, she still says that she knows nothing about the money. Really, it was a good watch, I got to tell you. Then they went into Jen Shaw, right? There was a lot. I forgot some of the other ones that were some more minor stories. They went into all. It was a really good one. I was doing a lot of stuff in the background, so I have to stop, pause, rewind, stop, pause, rewind. So good. Hollywood Demons, the Housewives episode, a trip down criminal lane of Bravo Town. Wow. It was a good watch. I've enjoyed all of them so far, but like I said, that is my wheelhouse with the Housewives, and they really get into a lot more details that some of these stories have been several years, but they really bring up all the, Erica Jane, hello. How could I forget Erica Jane? Yes. They get into Miss Erica Girardi. All of it. And let's not forget, there's still other stuff pending with her, and there's some other lawsuits still coming up. Jen Shaw, they interviewed Jen Shaw's victims. Yeah. Who she's worked with in the past. Good. When I tell you it was finger looking good in the gossip, the tea, it was finger licking good. Yum, yum, yum. So now that we're in the Housewives realm, let's get into the Housewives. Part 3 of the reunion for Beverly Hills. What did you think? Well, just kind of tying everything up. Jennifer Tilly, still the show stealer, no question about her. I love her more and more and more. Kyle, I couldn't be more annoyed with you throughout this season. You just get a little bit more annoying. So I am loving the fact that Andy really held your feet to the fire this reunion. I really am, because you always are you're very edited in what you want to put on TV. And as a reality TV star, you need to give us all of it. And, you're very hot and cold with what you want to disclose. And that's not really fair to us as viewers. And it's not really fair to the other cast that's willing to put a lot on the line. So I'm so happy. I like that they revisited the conversation that was missed last year with Kathy and Sutton. Remember Sutton got a little woozy and had a fainting episode, so she was taken to the hospital. She said that she had a bad case of bronchitis. The feelings that was kind of getting out there was that she faked it to get out of the issue with Kathy because she doesn't really want to have any conflict with Kathy. But they went into it. Everything was fine. Did Kathy yell at Sutton about not defending her a couple seasons ago? Sounds like she did. And this was the best answer. So Kathy's like, I basically gave it to her. Sutton apologized for being in the wrong. So we were good. She fell on her knee and she owned it and kissed the ring. We're good. Essentially, right? That's why you gotta love Kathy. That is why you've got to love Kathy. She's great. And she's a mess. I love her. She's whipping out her gum during the whole thing. I mean, Kathy, you're great. I love Kathy. Kathy is everything. Um, who else? Dorit. This was really the Dorit show. This entire reunion. She was pissed. She was ready to go. I liked it. She kept me on the hook. You could see this entire part 3 after they took the break. Garcelle checked out. And she even said, I'm tired, Andy. I'm done. I don't even want to ask any more questions. I'm just annoyed. And Andy's like, well, why are you so frustrated? She's like, I'm over it. I'm done. And you know what? Garcelle, good on you. You walked, you could see it. Like that girl was done. She had the glaze behind the eyes. She was just checked out. Like she was so anxious to get off that stage and get away from those people. She didn't even make it through the cast photo. Like she was just like, they said, let's do a toast. She's like, yeah, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to stand here with you fake people. I don't want to breathe the same air as you. I am done. And you know what? Good for you. Good for you. She walked out on her own, and I hope you come back. You're doing great. You're killing it. You don't need it. But I hope once in a while that I want to check in with a Garcelle. So I hope from, season to season, I hope there's a luncheon, a dinner that she gets invited back to, like Denise Richards. Could Garcelle get a spinoff? Ooh. Denise Richards did. Why couldn't Garcelle? Garcelle spinoff, I say. And there is a new spinoff coming up. Let's not forget about it. It is New Gen in NYC, and that's all the kids of some of our favorite Bravo celebrities that we've loved over the years. Their kids in New York City living life with the cameras on them. But let's give that a chance. That airs at the end of the month. But I am okay with Garcelle leaving Bravo. I think that was a very bold move to say, I'm done with this. I cannot handle this superficiality, and I cannot be in this same space with you fake people. I cannot deal a second longer. So good on you, Garcelle. You proved yourself to me. I mean, I like Garcelle. So I hate to see her go. I hope to see you come back now and again. And Jennifer Tilly, being a friend of, and she even said it so well. She's like, being a friend of is great. Jennifer Tilly is just, it's like playing a harp of happiness. Just, strum those strings and here we go. It's joy, absolute joy. I love Jennifer Tilly. So keep her as a friend of. But right after we concluded the reunion of Beverly Hills, we had, boom, the premiere of season 2 of The Valley. And did they bring it? They brought it. Crazy Kristen, who I love. I love Crazy Kristen. You want to know why? We all have a Crazy Kristen in our group, in our friend group. All of us. And you want to know why we all have a Crazy Kristen in our group? Because somewhere deep down in all of us, there is a little sliver of Crazy Kristen in us too. So I get you, girl. I get you. All of our friends get you. That's why we like you. So we got Kristen, we got Jax and Brittany back. You got the other couples, you got Jacqueline, you got Zach, and you've already got the Brittany Jax drama. You've got Kristen and Luke, and just you remember the Michelle relationship that was ending, which was so good. That drama is back, and how Kristen is now friends with the ex after they blamed Kristen for ruining their marriage, because she's like, your wife's been having an affair. Like, it came out, look, Kristen, there is one thing we know about you. Kristen's usually pretty right in these situations, right? Let's take a trip down memory lane if you wish. Let's go back to early Vanderpump days with Kristen. And I had to tell somebody this the other day, because I'm like, you don't understand. This is why I love Kristen. So let's go back. Remember back in early Vanderpump days when she was dating Tom Sandoval? Remember when she was dating him for years? And then there was that whole Miami girl situation, cheating, and he denied it. What came out was true. Remember then there was a whole Ariana cheating. Came out, ended up being true. But both of those situations, he gaslit Kristen saying, "You're crazy. Girls, listen to this pattern. When you ask someone if there's any type of infidelity, emotional, physical, whatever it may be, and they go way over the top extreme, start gaslighting you, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. There is something there. And you better start looking if you haven't yet, because there are crumbs to collect, my dear." And she did. She asked him about the Miami girl. He said she was crazy, fought with her. She was right. About Ariana, told her she was crazy, fought with her. They ended up breaking up. Guess what? She was right. And this situation on the Valley, when she was telling him, "Look, your wife's been having an affair with this celebrity dude and everybody knows about it, but you, no, you're crazy, Kristen." Guess what? Yet again, Kristen was right. She was right. So is her delivery terrible? Sure. Always is. Horrendous delivery. And what you want to say, because it's usually really good. But Kristen's always right. And let me tell you, I have loved Kristen since the day Kristen went into Vanderpump Rules, had a full meltdown. The manager came in and tried to calm her down, and she told her to suck a dick. Since that very moment, I'm like, oh, I think I really like this girl. And I've liked her ever since. Crazy Kristen, I love you. You are a great component. I'm glad you got a nice pay bump in this season. You deserve it. And someone, I don't know if she's a producer or somehow on the show. Somehow she's involved with the making of the show. And it's something that when the Valley started, all the former Vanderpump people and Vanderpump Rules were like, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing a spinoff on the Valley. It's never going to be this good. They're so desperate. They just are dying to get back on TV." Well, they had a killer first season. It was spectacular. It really was. They brought it all. They brought the drama. They brought back some old stories. They brought new stories. They brought new relationships. There's still the comforts of Crazy Home, which is Jax and Kristen. Mwah. All of that. And they had a phenomenal first season. Well, fast forward to season 2, they're coming back riding high. And the former cast of Vanderpump Rules, they all got fired. So now look who's starting to work their way over to the Valley. We have already seen Tom Schwartz. I think we've seen Sheena pop in and out. There's also, I believe, Lala's going to be swinging through. So, a lot of these people gave a lot of shit to Kristen and Jax for making the spinoff, and Brittany. But look at them now. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. Jax, still hate you. You are a horrible human being. Okay? There is no defending you, no defending your behavior. Tom Schwartz, it's really nice of you trying to come up and be like, "Dude, what your actions are inexcusable. I can't defend them. I'm here to try and get you back on the right track because you are going to lose everything." And he is losing everything. There's going to come to a point, and this is exactly what happened on Vanderpump Rules. There's going to be a point, and he can't control himself. You can put that man into enough treatment centers and programs all you want. You can get that guy a life coach, you can get him a sober coach, you can get him, I don't know, a spirit coach, a spirit animal, whatever you need, an emotional support animal. I don't care. You cannot change this man. It is too late in the game. And forewarning to anybody who comes around here. I mean, you already heard the story about Brittany saying there were panties on the sink with wipes. What does that mean? Girl, you know what that means, and it's gross. So, warning to all the girls that are trying to hook up with Jax. It's a hopeless cause. Just don't go. Have your fun and just don't go any further with that. And go get tested after that experience. You really, really should. But I am enjoying the very first episode. Go right into it. They pick right up. Excellent start. Good on you, Valley. Welcome back. So good to have you back this season. Atlanta. This season, the infighting is insanity and engaging at the same time. Oh God. So I am a little heartbroken that nobody wants to film with Kenya this season. I thought, yes, it was really gross, Kenya, what you did, having your blow up pictures at your beautiful opening event for your salon, for you to take that moment that was supposed to be such a beautiful, wonderful, honorable moment for you and your family, and just to use that as a platform to shame and humiliate Britt it was beneath you, and it was pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I totally agree with the women who could not even stand to be in the room when that was happening. I agree with that. I support that. Maybe she should have had, I don't know, maybe Cindy could have, or Kenya could have been suspended for like an episode or two. I feel like we've seen much worse in the series of The Housewives. I don't defend it. I do not defend it. I do not condone any of that. It's bullying. It's shameful behavior. It's disgusting behavior. That's not how we should treat other women. That's not how we should treat each other. And Kenya, set a better example for your daughter, period. But I think Britt is, look, I have slightly mixed feelings on it. I can't imagine what she's going through on social media, but you have received so much support from the internet, from production, and from your cast members. Okay? Ride that support till the sunset. Okay? Take the support, feed off of it, and build your story from there. Because you really don't have a lot of storyline this season. But now, your friend Kelly, and I want to try her waffles. She had a lovely party for you. A Capri party, gorgeous, with the lemons, with her Williams and Sonoma decor, as she said. Very beautiful. Everyone look good. I really like Angela. I think she's funny. She's a little, subtle, little demure right now, but I'm waiting for the wildcat to come out because I think it lives inside of her. But I think she's just gorgeous. And I totally support you carrying a fan everywhere you go. You carry that fan proudly. A girl can wear, I like an accessory. What can I say? And you wear it well. Fan girl, fan away. Get the windblown look. You look gorgeous. Portia confidence strong, and I like it. Oh, Shamia's all over the place. I think it's hilarious. Who knew that Shamia was the never-ending talker, the never-ending story, the never-ending singer. I love how production's like, we got it. She's like, you're going to hear it. I'm going to finish it out. They're like, we got it. How many hours do you think are on the editing floor from Shamia? And I really like Shamia. I think she's funny. Background, we're getting a little bit more of her story. But I like how we have Shamia here this season. I like that we've always had a little intro into her. But I like now that she stands alone. And we had the fallout with Kenya and the whole party and the debacle there. We had the fallout there. She has the party. And Britt is just going in after everybody. She's like, well, I've lost my license. And Angela's like, well, I have an insurance license as well. Like, there has to be some pretty serious allegations and evidence against you for them to, revoke your license. And I mean, there has to be more than just rumors. And that's all Angela said. And Britt jumped down her throat and she went after Drew and you name it. She started boom, 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 going after everybody. Britt, this is going to be your downfall because now you're going to turn everybody against you. And here's a little bit of the other thing is that Britt found out that some of the other people were talking to Kenya and they're a little bit of Team Kenya. She doesn't like that either. But I hope Kenya can come back because I think Kenya's really strong and she deserves a place. I think a timeout was best for Kenya. I think a timeout. Let's not forget Portia got a timeout for a while. Remember the whole sex dungeon thing there? Those were some pretty harsh things. And then there was a fight. So I find it a little shocking, but I hope Kenya can come back. I hope she's willing to come back because Kenya was already good this season so far. I enjoyed it. So bring Kenya back. And on another note, as we wrap out, I just want to say Wendy Williams has been in the news again. She is still fighting the fight with her new attorney. And from everybody from the Polywine, we just want to say, we love you, Wendy. And girl, we're here for you. How you doing? That's it for us today. Thank you for joining us here on Polywine. Please follow us on Instagram at PolyWineTime. And please follow, like, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you get your feed. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.